I was able to accomplish something that I honestly never figured I'd be able to do, and realistically don't think I'll ever be able to do again, but luckily, I only had to ever do it once, so I'll give my best explanation of how I did it, but honestly, I'm not even 100% sure, and I was the one to do it. There's been more than one that did it. There's been a whole heck of a heap of people that did it, but I'll show y'all what it is, so y'all might be able to do it too. And this is taking the Chicane Chaos full throttle in an untuned Group 3 car. Yes, it is possible somehow or another. The first time that I did it was actually on the Dragon Trail track, missing the thing or whatever, like the circuit experience, I think it's called, something like that, but pretty much where you just go around different sections of the track and then the whole track. This was this particular section, and I managed to actually do it full throttle somehow, so I'll give a tutorial of how I did it. This will be relatively short given that it's one turn. For that first turn coming in, it's full throttle. For this turn, it's actually even full throttle if you do it absolutely perfect. To start out, get as close to that side as possible. That's not too difficult because the rumble strips are there, so pretty much once you start feeling the rumble strips, if you got your car straight, you're going to be on the rumble strips. As for turning in, start a little bit before that shadow, and pretty much it's just going to be practice here for like how hard you turn in and stuff, because it sort of depends on like steering wheel versus controller. I'm on a controller, and I think traction control plays a little bit into it. I don't have traction control on necessarily for this section, it's more for the next turn, but this section in particular, traction control might make a little bit of difference, but realistically probably not too much. Mine is on 2, but again, I wouldn't think it would make much of a difference when you are full throttle. But anyway, as for the first turn, get as close to that wall as possible. It doesn't really matter too much if you like bounce a little bit, because realistically you are a little bit too. That just makes this Chicane Chaos that much harder. But the bounce is not your main problem here. The main problem is if you hit either wall. But in order to go for a throttle, you quite literally have to go as close to that wall as possible, so there's literally no margin for error. It's not even an over-exaggeration. I mean, just look. Do y'all see a margin for error there? Maybe that's, I don't know, that might be 1 inch there? Maybe? Relative to the whole track, though, I think that might not even be an inch. I don't know. But anyway, I am full throttle. Again, this might be where traction control makes a little bit of difference, but I think realistically it's just because I'm bouncing some. I think traction control, or no, it would still be, the throttle would look like that just because it bounces a little bit because you're on a rumble strip. But anyway, you have to get as close to those 2 walls as possible, so that's not the easiest thing to do. But once you do it, your car should pretty much naturally carry out to here. This is where I hate this turn more than a lot of others, because it seems like even when I do get as close to those walls as possible, sometimes even not even full throttle, I'll still end up hitting that wall, turning completely right as much as I possibly can, and yet I still hit it. Honestly, hit that wall versus not hit that wall, as far as I can tell is pure luck. This takes practice there, and a lot of luck as well. General strategy is pretty much just try to keep your car straight. But those bumps, as far as I can tell, truly and really are luck. And the bumps can throw you off and then go into that wall. And then it doesn't matter how fast you made the turn itself if you end up hitting that wall. Of course, if you hit the first 2 walls before then, it wouldn't matter either. But if you make it to this point and you still hit that wall, then it doesn't matter either. So there's pretty much 3 walls you can hit in a span of about 2 seconds, and realistically, I'll probably hit at least one of them 50% of the time or so. And even the 50% that I make it, realistically, it only once ever has been full throttle. And y'all can take my driving ability as you may, but, I mean, there you go. I made it full throttle once, and probably only ever once. So I'll go ahead and show the end of the run here, because this is like a full thing, but realistically this next turn isn't too hard. It's pretty much do it as you expect and your car acts as you expect. There's less luck here. Pretty much slow them right at where the rumble strip starts, which is the general for Group 3. And then by the time you're at about the middle of the turn, you'll be slowed down. Go to a little over 70, go on the throttle fully. With traction control 2, it does fine. I think even it does slightly better now after the 1.12 update, so maybe, just maybe, there's time left if you can do Chicane Chaos for throttle twice. Which is very iffy, but anyway, after you get off there, your lap's over. Just hit the apex there, boom, you're at the line. So there you have it, folks. That's how to do the Chicane cows full throttle. I don't know how to do it full throttle twice, given I never have. But yeah, so there you have it. I somehow was able to run 34.000. That's not a fluke. It's on camera. I actually did that. I know it sort of looks fluky, given I'll never be able to do it again, but hey, it's realistic. I ran a 34.000. Oh, for Jiminy Cricket's sakes. Well, I tried. My dandiest. Dandier than I'll ever be able to try again, that's for sure. But all I'd say is that's still over, yeehaw.